Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Let's dig in. Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Every time I read the story of the rich young ruler, I learn something slightly different. This time I noticed a few different things I wanted to share with you. In all three of the synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, this man's story is found directly after Jesus says that the kingdom of heaven belongs to little children. In fact, he says if you don't become like a child, you can't enter the kingdom of heaven. Perhaps the rich young ruler had heard what Jesus said, perhaps not. But his arrival at that specific moment gives us a good comparison between what God wants us to be, humble and childlike, and what we sometimes try to come to Him with, lots of baggage. What Jesus values and what the world values are opposites, and many times worldly treasure ends up weighing us down. It binds us to this world rather than to eternity, which is why Jesus tells us to store our treasure in heaven. That's where we plan to go, right? No need to lug our treasure around with us and find out it's worthless and can't even go with us, right? Because if we're honest, those things we treasure, whether it's our house, car, job, reputation, intelligence, talents, or social position, they can draw us away from the Lord and keep us from following Him. And when that happens, those things have become idols because we love them more than we love Jesus. Of course, we don't need to give away all of our possessions and travel around like a vagabond, but Jesus, as always, knew this young man's heart and knew his idols were his wealth and position. He knew those things were keeping him separated from a relationship with his Lord. Just think, if the rich young ruler had taken Jesus up on the offer and humbled himself as a little child and followed Jesus, he might be known today in church history like Peter or Paul. What a testimony he would have had. But he considered the title poor young disciple to be a downgrade from his position as the rich young ruler. So he missed his opportunity. How sad. All his treasure stayed on earth. And unless he changed his mind and heart, his refusal to trust Jesus and follow Him that day landed him in hell. When Jesus calls us to follow Him, He wants complete surrender. If there's anything we love more, it's an idol. And as we know, our God is a jealous God. He wants to root out those idols that come between us and Him. Is there anything in your life that comes before Jesus? Often we can tell in how we spend our money, time, or other resources. What do you need to change in your life today in order to put Jesus first in your heart?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes at our website, which you can find in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.